Right, I'm still not really sure how this works, but I think we are away. What's the time? Oh, a couple of minutes, I suppose. But look, just really excited for the challenge to be almost upon us. It's 2nd of Feb now, and we're live on Feb 5th for our 28 days later challenge. 29 days, I guess, technically, given it's a leap year. But let's not change the name over something as silly as that. Hey, it's look, it's certainly my favourite challenge of the year, coming out of Christmas and just giving everyone the opportunity to really reset the year and get off to a flying start, and hopefully carry some of those learn some great habits that are able to carry on through the next few months, and hopefully even through winter if we're going really well. Um, it's also a great time to lean on the other guys at the gym, make sure they understand what's that you're doing it, and help hold you accountable. And if you can get some of your family on board at home, particularly in terms of sticking with the food elements of the challenge, then that is the most effective way to be successful. So it's really hard to do this when you're by yourself. But if you've got your partner and your kids involved, it makes life so much easier. Um, in terms of the 2024 challenge, I guess these are the biggest changes we've made to this challenge for 10 years really. The two things that have really changed are the introduction of the three levels of the challenge. So we've done two levels before, but in a different way. So we have three levels in the challenge this year. We have the pro level, the perform level, and the challenge level, and each of them have a different series of requirements, I guess. Now, it's also the first year we've introduced a point scoring system, so that rather than your training being very black and white, you must do this many classes and this many extras. This year, you sort of have the flexibility to choose. Why have I done that, I suppose, is the first question. Now, look, I know I've said so many times in the past that the extras are the challenge. And the reason I've always said that is because it's something that we don't always get to do. We all do classes, and I mean, that's what we do at round one. So we all do classes. But this year I've always said the extras are the challenge, because they're the things that really drive you out of your comfort zone from a training perspective. But, look, just given how I know how chaotic my life is, and given how chaotic everyone else's life is, it's almost got to the point the last couple of years where I've seen more and more people going, I haven't done this extra, I've just done an extra class. I haven't done that extra, I've done an extra class. And rather than penalize people because they love doing classes and can't get motivated to do the extras, I just thought, well, let's just build it in. So the way that that's going to work is, for each class you do, you'll receive 1.5 points. For each extra you do, you'll receive 1.5 points. And for each each extra you do, you'll receive half a point, 0.5. And for each PT session you do, you'll also receive half a point. So if you were to do, 3 classes a week, that's 4.5 points, 3 times 1.5. And if you were to do 3 extras a week, that's 1.5 points. So altogether, you'd have your 4.5 plus your 1.5. Pretty simple, 6 points. Now, to achieve the pro level, you need to achieve 40 points over what's really 5 weeks. So you can work it out yourself, but you basically need to achieve 8 points a week, which will work out to be sort of 5 classes or thereabouts. Now, there's some great examples of how to work all that out in the in the challenge packs, and there's sort of some really good sort of little demos of how you can construct this, or how you can do that, how you could do more classes or less classes and all that sort of thing. More classes and less extras and more extras and less classes, focus on your PT, whatever it might be. You can get there in any number of ways that suit you and fit in with your sort of life. So, what can I tell you? It's to me, it's a really big change. We've also had a significant change with the extras as well. So I know this time last year we did the 7 Deadly Sins challenge, and there were 7 options for your extras. So this year it's very different. This year there's only 3. Videos for 2 of them will be going up on Sunday. The first of those extras is a pure out of the gym cardio challenge. Now, again, why did I include this? Because we've never had this in the past. Every other year, all of the extras are things that need to be done in the gym. This year, we've got a cardio option, which means you can do a swim down at Coogee in the shark net. You can go to Manning Stairs and go for a run. You can go to Bibra Lake and go for a run. From the gym, you can go for a run around the, I've laid out 3 courses for you. Now in the pack, it does say, don't ask me about any other options, but I've already had someone suggest to me that they're going to do their run around Canning Bridge and Mount Henry Bridge. You know what? I'm good with that. It's this is someone who sort of lives over in that area and is just trying to squeeze everything in their life in. It's like, yeah, I could get up on the weekend and get that run in, but I couldn't drive down to Manning Stairs and run the stairs, or I couldn't drive to Bibra Lake. I don't have that extra 25 minutes. So I sort of get it. So if you are going to do something different, and I just want you to have a chat to me about it and just make sure that we're both on the same page. The one thing that I do want you to do, though, is I don't want the extra that you're proposing to be something that you do anyway. So for the guys out there who ride their bike to work and this sort of stuff, like I do get it and I understand that that is an extra. But if you're already riding to work and already doing 4 classes in the gym, guys, that is not a challenge. That's just what you always do. So we need to sort of break that up and come up with something that might be an extended ride, or might be an extra day a week, or if you ride 2 days, yeah, you might need to ride 3 days to get credit. I don't know. Just explain to me the situation and let's work through it together and come up with something that is a challenge that will work, will work with your days and your time frames, but also is a challenge. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to be an arse about it and make things too hard, but I've spoke to someone who's riding to work in the city twice a week, and they're saying, "Oh, my rides will just count." It's like, well, you're already doing that. So if it's something you're already doing, then that, to me, that's not part of the challenge. That's just that's an extra. We want this to be something extra, something on top of it, something that's hard, something that you're not doing every day. Otherwise, it should be called the 28 days of just keep doing what you always do and see what happens challenge. But that's not what we're about. The other 2 challenges, one is a very simple barbell circuit, which you can do in the boxing gym or in the strength gym. I'm going to put, like I said, I'll have a video out for that. And the last one is 3 rounds of a little circuit that I've come up with. I think I've called it the leap year circuit or something like that. It's just a really simple mix of different things, including including a heap of abs in the end of that. So you guys, trying to do some ab work and all that sort of stuff, that 3rd challenge might be for you. And again, both of those challenges, they're not going to take that long. The little barbell circuit, that can be done in sort of 10 minutes if you really push. So you get a half a point for every 10 minutes. That's good going. You're going to have to bleed a little bit to get it done in 10 minutes, but that's the way it is. The other major change in the challenge this year is that we've also introduced an option where you guys can do some calorie tracking. So the traditional 28 days later challenge works as so. No bread, no pasta, no food with added sweeteners of any kind, and no alcohol. That's it. They're the 4 things. So, and despite those rules seeming very clear, everyone will always come back, oh, can I have dairy? Well, yes, you can have dairy, because dairy isn't bread, pasta. It doesn't have any sweeteners, and it is not alcohol. Can I eat rice? Yes, because rice isn't bread, pasta, etc. So the argument's always like, well, why are you picking on those things? Why is bread worse than rice, etc.? Well, it's not really, but the reason I pick on those things in particular is because they're the things in a lot of people's diets where they can very easily overeat, and it's very easy to have problems with calories, with excess consumption. A big bowl of pasta is very hard to manage. It's very hard to manage a serving size. Whereas a lot of people, when they have rice, they'll put a cup of rice on the side of their plate and eat that way. Whereas when you have pasta, everything's traditionally mixed in. So it makes it very hard to manage your quantities. So that's why it's like that. And that strategy, to be fair, has been super effective in helping people, get their weight down. So, just on that, in terms of weight loss being a strategy here, just using that food exclusion method, what we've been saying traditionally is girls lose around about 600 grams a week. So you'll end up losing around about 3.5 kilos. And boys do a bit better than that. Boys are generally, bigger. So they'll lose a little bit more weight than that. And they'll lose around about 1 to 1.3 kilos a week. So they'll lose 5 to 6. That's sort of the way it seems to have worked over the last, 9 years since we've been doing it. And I see no reason why that would change this year. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, then the challenge is certainly for you. But we've also added in a little bit more flexibility this year with a calorie management sort of plan. So there's a little table in the challenge packs which sort of assesses, okay, If you don't want to do food exclusion, if you want to continue to eat whatever you like, that's fine. You can manage your food during the challenge by a calorie tracker. So the simplest way to do that is to download an app like MyFitnessPal. You can use the free version, I don't mind, and just keep track of what you're eating each day. Now, it's there's a little table in the packs that tell you how many calories you should be targeting based on your weight. And if that doesn't make sense to you when you get your challenge pack, hey, that's what I'm here for. Send me an email, grab me in the gym. If you want to chat to one of the other trainers, that's cool, and I'd encourage you to do that. But honestly, like, just reach out, because I'm here to help with this stuff. I'm also asking you to track your protein. So I'm asking you to track total protein and total calories, and we want to have a calorie target our protein target as a minimum and our calorie target as a maximum. For anyone who's doing a calorie tracking method, here's the only catch. I need you to come and stand on the scales every single week. This is important. You then write down that number, and if you've lost some weight or your weight is the same, then those calories that you used for that first week or that second week or whatever it is, the week leading up to the weigh-in, they'll stay the same. But if your weight has gone up, then we're going to take 10% off your calorie number. I hope that sort of makes some sense. It's some of this stuff is there's a little bit of guesswork involved, and I'm not trying to suggest that it's 100% infallible, but the calorie numbers I've come up with are relatively conservative. So let's jump on the scales and see if it's being effective or not. That's really what I'm after. So we want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to get what you want out of it. So if you're doing calorie tracking, after the first week, let's jump back on the scales and let's see if we've had an impact. If we've lost weight or stayed the same, perfect. Let's stay with our calorie plan. If we've gained weight, then we're clearly not in a deficit. So let's drop our calories by 10% or whatever number we might come up with, and let's go again. And let's really get some great outcomes out of this challenge. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to get you to jump on the scales to make you feel embarrassed or anything like that. It's like, hey, let's get some results. We've got sort of 5 weeks to really roll with this. So let's take advantage and get the outcomes that we want. In terms of requirements for the challenge, I know there's a few first timers who have signed up. It really is really simple. With your extras, you sign those off yourself. So if you finish your class and you go out for a run, head out, follow the course that's been outlined in the pack, you run around the lake, you get back here, you just write that down in your pack and you sign yourself off as doing the extra. When you do your food, you just write that, you just record that. If you're doing the exclusion plan, you go, yep, I didn't have any alcohol today. Fantastic. Record that so we know what's going on and you can track and be successful. With the classes, though, you do need to get the trainer who signed the class to sign the sheet. Now, sometimes the trainers can be sneaky and they disappear. We just need to track them down. And the easiest way to do that is just to remind them before the class, hey, I need you to sign this after the class. Please hang around, because sometimes they're running off into the office to help someone else, or maybe they're running off to do a PT session. But the rules after class should be trainers off doing some stretching with you in the boxing gym or doing the mobility program with you in the strength gym. And we want the trainers available to sign your sheet, have a chat, and make sure that everything's on track. So that's the main reason we want the trainers to get involved in this. So they should be signing your form. You should be sort of going, yep, I'm on track this week. I've done 3 classes. I've done 2 classes. Oh, man, I'm in trouble. And we need to sort of work out a way that we can get you to the target. Like I said, we want you guys to be successful in this. So the thing about that is, to get your points up, you need to get your classes, your extras, and all that sort of stuff's done. So it might be as simple as, hey, I'm a class short. When can I fit this in? To achieve, get a sign off in Rolling Thunder, all we've said is that you need to train for half an hour on a Saturday. That's a good plan. There is a 6 a.m. class on a Saturday. That's a good plan. That'll be done before you're have to head off for kids' sport or whatever it might be. There are some opportunities there. Friday night is a great time to sneak into the gym, particularly if during this sort of next month, it's light, it's cooler in the evenings. Friday night's a great opportunity to get in and get a session done. So it's don't dismiss that as a training time. I've always sort of thought, people who sort of go, oh, don't train on Sundays. Well, that's a cool story. I do appreciate everyone sort of drawing lines in their life, but they don't need to be marked in gold, marked in permanent ink, so to speak, because there's 52 Sundays in a year. So there's no point saying that on each of those 52 days I don't train. like something different might have happened during the week. You might have been sick early in the week, whatever it might be. If you want to sort of get your training back on a roll, there's no problem with making something an exception, coming in on a Friday night, coming in on a Sunday. That's all okay. That all works, and all those sort of things add up in terms of being successful and getting the challenge done. Look, it's there's not. I don't really have much more to say. It's I'm really sort of keen to sort of listen to you guys and answer your questions and see what things you guys have come up with. Once you've got your scan done, make sure you pick your pack up, and we'll and if you've got any questions, let's come and work through it together. So, obviously it's hard trying to get access to me in between classes and all that sort of stuff, but email is good. And if you can always set a time to say, hey, Michael, can you give me a call at this time or that time? And that's the sort of thing that I'm more than happy to do. Give you a call and we'll chat through something or make a plan together and give you guys the opportunity to be successful. For me, I'm very keen to do this challenge. Haven't done one like this before where I'm doing calorie tracking. Once upon a time, we did a challenge based on the zone diet, which was quite challenging, but I got great outcomes from that. And I'm really looking forward to doing some calorie counting this year and getting a great result. So it's I'd love to think about being somewhere in that sort of 3 to 4 kilos down by the time March rolls around. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully you guys are thinking the same way. Can't wait for this challenge. Really excited about it. And what can I tell you? Really looking forward to it. Reach out if you've got any questions. And look, hopefully this live stream's worked in some way and it's there as a resource for you guys. But like I said, if you need anything, just sing out and I'm there to help. Cheers, team. Bye.